Good morning, children. How are you today? Welcome to a new week. And today we have a new lesson in our mathematics. I hope you will enjoy your last weekend. Today we'll be to look at something very important, and that is time measurement. Time measurement. Now, when we talk of time, the first thing that will come to our mind is wall clock. Here is a wall clock. What says the time? This is exactly 3 o'clock. If I turn it to this time, what is the time? 5 o'clock? Yes. What about this? This is what? After. That is 10 minutes past 5. What about this? It's not yet 5 o'clock. So what time is it? 10 minutes to 5. Now today we'll be looking at some key vocabularies before we move on into time measurement. And number one of the word we'll be looking at is the word GMT. GMT. Another word, interesting word, is AM. Another word is PM. What does GMT mean? G is standing for Greenwich, and M is standing for what? Meridian, and T is standing for time. So GMT. What does this mean? Many times when you travel abroad, when we travel abroad, you are not going to be using your local time. Right now, it's at 12 o'clock. But in America, it won't be the same time. In other words, the time they have will be different from our own time. So if you are a pilot and you are traveling, are you going to use your local time? No. But you'll be working on your GMT time. What does this AM mean? AM means before. That is anti-meridian. Now this one means before noon, before 12 o'clock. So PM means what? Opposite. Post-meridian. That is, this post is talking about after 12 o'clock. Or perhaps you can say after the noon. Let's take for instance, in this clock, how do we measure the time when it is after this 12? Remember one thing, between 12 and 1, we have 5 minutes. So from our work clock here, between the time, this minutes is the minutes hand, this long hand. So between 12 and 1 is 5 minutes. We will say 5 minutes past 5. Between this 5 and 2 is also 5 minutes. So it becomes 10. 5 plus 5 becomes 10. So we will say 10 minutes past 5. Now, in that mean, if you are now working on your GMT time, between 12 and this one, we will not call it 1 o'clock again. At times you see some of your wristwatch will be reading 13 o'clock. I'll draw a table to show the o'clock time and the GMT time. So our 1 o'clock becomes 13 o'clock. Now, what will our 5 o'clock become? Let's calculate. After 1 o'clock is 13, 2 o'clock is 14 o'clock, 3 o'clock is what? 15 o'clock, 4 o'clock becomes 16 o'clock, then 5 o'clock becomes what now? 17 o'clock. So when you see 17, 15, what does that mean? It means you are talking on terms of GMT time. I'll give you one example of how we calculate the time. But before then, there's a regular measurement, time measurement, which we all must learn. Remember, it's part of your lesson. So we must learn by heart. The first thing is 60 seconds make 1 minute. Let me quickly explain this. 60 seconds make 1 minute. 60 minutes make 1 hour. 24 hours make 1 day. 7 days make 1 week. 4 weeks make 1 month. 52 weeks also is 1 year. Now 365 days make 1 year. 366 days is equal to 1 leap year. I will explain in a short moment. From here we move on to century, we move on to decade, century, millennium, and so on and so forth. For your class, there is a need for you to have understanding of how to apply time measurement when you are giving an exam. Let's go back to the drawing board. 60 seconds make 1 minute. How do we measure that? This is the minute's hand. Now this tiny one is the seconds hand. It moves. And if it's starting from there, at the time it moves down, rolling down to 12, there will be what? 1 minute. This long one is the minute hand. Remember, here we have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We are using this one to calculate. 5 minutes past 5. Now, if it is here, we will say 20 minutes past 5. So we're using this minute hand to calculate our past. Now, on this side, it is toe. Now, this hand of short hand will be coming towards 6. So we'll be using toe 6. 25 minutes to 6. Now, what does this really mean? When we are converting time measurement, we should learn by heart that at any point in time, the seconds, 60 seconds will make 1 minute. What comes to mind? Why 60 seconds? Let us prove that. Number one, remember that I mentioned to you that there is 5 minutes in between 12 and 1. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So if you calculate all the 5 minutes back to this 12, it will make 60 minutes. 5 times 12 is 60. That is how we measure in 60. So 60 seconds make 1 minute. 60 minutes make 1 hour. 24 hours is a day making 1 day. Let us apply in one example. One of our examples. Question 1. Example 1. We have seconds, minutes, and hour. 2 hours, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. 30 minutes, 45 seconds, plus 3 hours, 45 minutes, 20 seconds. Now, this is your application, your common entrance examination. A question can come in this way. What do we need to do? Remember that it has been mentioned to us that 60 seconds make 1 minute. Now, as soon as this is more than 60, you carry 1 because it becomes 1 minute here. That's the rule. So let's go. For 25, 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 and 4 and 2 become 6. I cannot write 6 here because it is more than 60. So I'll go to my table. I'll quickly subtract 65, take away 60. What do you mean? 5. So I will have 05 here and I will have 1 minute here. 60 seconds. I've taken away 60 here. it becomes 1 minute. 60 seconds make 1 minute. Therefore, my 60 is taken away from here and becomes 1 minute. So I'm adding 1 to 30 becomes 31. 31 and 45. 31 plus 45 will give me 76. I cannot write the whole 76 here. Why? Because I have the rule that says 60 minutes make 1 hour. So I'm taking away 60 from here. So it remains 16. So I'm going to write 16 here. And I've taken 1 hour here. So 1 plus 2 will give us 3. 3 plus 3 will give us 6. So my final conclusion answer becomes 6 hours, 16 minutes, and 5 seconds. That's my final conclusion. Can I give you one more example? Yes, let's apply one more example using the GMT. Example 2. This time around, I want to apply word problems in this example 2. We are told a meeting started 9:15 a.m. What is a.m.? I've explained to us a.m. means before noon, before 12 o'clock. And ended 2:35 p.m. Now, this is a problem. You need to have that understanding between a.m. and the p.m. The difference is before noon and after noon. Before 12 o'clock and after 12 o'clock. This is before 12 o'clock and this is after 12 o'clock. We cannot put two, remember our measurement, seconds, minutes, and hour. Now, here we need to take away 2:35. In our GMT time, which I mentioned to us, I said 2 o'clock becomes what? 14 o'clock. Remember, 1 o'clock is what? 13 o'clock. 12 o'clock is here. At the GMT time, the 2 o'clock becomes 14 o'clock. So this 2:35 becomes what? 14:35 minutes. Let me write it. This 2 o'clock becomes minutes, hour. 2 o'clock becomes what? 14:35. You are taking away the time the meeting started, which is 9:15. 9:15. So let's take away. 35 take away 15, we have 20. 14 take away from 9, we have 5. So what a meeting started 9:15 and ended is, how long was the meeting? How long means, it means 5 hours, 20 minutes. Thank you. Till I come again in your way, when we'll be looking at addition of time, subtraction of time, multiplication, division, and we are applying word problems in time. All I know is that if you lose the principle, 60 seconds make 1 minute. 60 minutes make 1 hour. Say after me, 24 hours make 1 day. 7 days make 1 week. That reminds me, when do we start calculating the days? On Sunday. The weeks begins on Sunday. So let's count Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So don't forget the principle. We'll meet again. Until we meet again, I want to believe that you will have studied your time measurement, and by the time we apply those principles, you will find it so easy. Mathematics is fun. Have a blessed day.